Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Cinema and Theatre Break Show, where we keep it 100% Kenyan cinema and theatre. And today I'm so thrilled. I'm hosting one of the best actresses that we have in this country. Oh, they are called actors too. Ladies and gentlemen, Helen Keli.
Asante.
Welcome to the Cinema and Theatre Break Show.
Thank you.
I'm
Thank you
so
for having
happy
me.
to host you. I've read so much about you. I've heard so much about you. I've seen your work on screen, and I'm amazed with your work. I love your work.
Wow. Thank you.
Thank you so much
Asante
for
sana.
coming. I have so much to ask you, and I'm thinking nianzie wapi. But
Shoot.
again,
Start at the beginning.
I will start from wherever I'll start from.
Yeah.
You've been in this industry for almost 2 decades, or even more than that, isn't it?
Are we saying that loudly?
Yeah.
Are we telling everyone?
We're telling everyone.
I started acting I went for my first audition in maybe April or May 1994.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
And since then, you've been here all along.
Yeah, I'm trying.
What keeps you going, though?
Oh, man, the only way I could describe it is if you cut me here, acting will come out.
It's
Like
in the
it's
blood.
in my blood. It's I tried to run away from it for a few years. But man, it's that thing of when God puts a dream in your heart.
Yeah.
You can like Jonah, yeah? Yeah, he tried to run away, then he was swallowed by the whale.
Come back.
Go back to the place I was telling you to go.
That is close to 1994. That's close to 30 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
And there is someone who's joining today, or someone who's in the industry, and they're like, man, I want to quit.
No, what?
Yeah.
No.
They want to quit, or someone is like, I don't want to join the industry. Or what keeps you going actually in terms of, is it discipline? Are you lucky? Because when you are in it, it shows that you keep getting roles. You keep appearing, whether it's a stage play, whether it's on TV, whether it's a film. You keep appearing, you keep getting roles. Is it discipline? Is it talent? Is it God? Or what is
Wow.
that? Or you have a secret? A secret recipe?
First of all, I cannot separate God from me and vice versa. I can't, I don't know if I don't know if I could say I'm lucky. I wouldn't say that. But I am very disciplined. I mean, when I'm on set, I'm on set. Like I'm almost like this. I don't see anything else. I don't hear anything else. I'm on set. I'm fully and completely immersed and engaged in whatever that is, right? So like in any career, discipline.
Discipline.
You have to be a professional. In this one, there's also the question of talent. So what keeps me going? It's that I can't do without. I'm really passionate about acting, and when I joined the Phenix Players in 1994.
Yes. Your first audition was for theatre?
Yes, for theatre.
Amazing.
And I can't remember the name of the music. It was basically the Pirates of Penzance, but a Kenyan version. I can't remember the name. And every year, I was in a musical every year until, like maybe 5 years I was in a musical every year. And then I started to transition from just doing musicals into now actually full-on plays. And it was wonderful to work with James Falkland. He mentored me. He mentored a lot of us. I mean, if you look at my age mates, some of them are older than I am, who went through Phenix Players at the time when James was running it. I mean, he mentored a lot of us. Jimmy Gadhu, Eric Ndavi, the late Eric Ndavi. Who else was there? We were so many. Winifred Gitau, Philip Gitau. Ian Kaburu. I mean, there was so many of us. We used to
Yes.
act with, was he the AG Paul Karaoke? We had some really good times, and we did a lot of good work. So I transitioned, like I mentioned, into doing plays, and wow, we did some interesting stuff.
It's been a great journey.
From Shakespeare to Alan Ayckbourn to some silly comedies to some really serious stuff. We did that, and one of the things that is the highlight for me when I was at Phenix was one, I did The Merchant of Venice, which is Shakespeare, and I was Portia. And if you know Shakespeare, I don't know if you guys did Shakespeare in school, but Shakespeare
But I
writes
read
women.
it. I didn't do it. I read it.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So Shakespeare has a way with his female characters. And Portia was almost a woman ahead of her time. And I remember doing the opening night, and James Falkland just cried, and he just cried. I didn't think I could do it. I mean, Shakespeare is not easy to memorize and to internalize. But the highlight for me was working with someone like Kenneth Mason, he's passed away now, and he orchestrated an article that was written about me in the Daily Telegraph.
Wow.
Which at the time I didn't even know what the Daily Telegraph was. So if I can explain what my love for acting is, I can't even put it in words. It's something that is very deeply ingrained in my soul, in my spirit.
How did Daily, the Post, how did it shape your career back then while you were in theater?
I didn't even know about it for quite a while.
Oh, wow.
Because those days there was no internet. At least we didn't have it.
Yeah.
James Falkland one day just came and dumped it in front of me, like, bam. And I was like, yo.
This is me.
Yeah, and soon after, the Daily Nation did an article as well. I mean, it felt good.
And back in the days, because appearing on such platforms of someone writing about you was a big deal. It's not like today.
It was a big deal.
Yeah.
It was a big deal, especially because you see nowadays there's your show, there's another person's podcast, there's somebody else, there's the other sort of informal types of media. So there's a lot of information going around. At that time, it wasn't that much, so it was very special.
If someone writes about
it was
you.
very special indeed. Yeah. I also come from a background where my father was one of the people who started VOK.
Oh, amazing!
And he was very artsy himself. So even then, so coming from that background, there are people who knew me who I didn't even know. You know, every time I said my name, someone would ask me, "Oh, are you David Kelly's daughter?" And I'm like, "Yes."
Kelly is actually a local name.
It is. It's a Kamba name.
Oh.
If you want us, we can have this conversation in Kamba also.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I don't know why in my mind I'm like, that's so English name.
No, it's Kelly. It's Keli.
Okay.
Which in Kamba is pronounced Kelly. And it means, I guess, the cows in the room don't shoot me. But it means two.
Okay.
So I presume that it could be like the second, you know. So it's two. It means two.
Wow.
So it is a Kamba word first and foremost, and it is a Kamba name.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Your father, God bless his soul. How did he shape your career when you were joining, and he was already into this art space?
So he didn't really, and I suppose this is a conversation of genetics, because my dad died when I was, well, if I give myself away, he died in 1985. So I was very young.
Okay.
So I wouldn't say he had a hand in shaping the trajectory of my acting. More like he was I was very much his daughter, if you get what I mean. Like, it's just the way you see similarities in the people that you're related to. You're just like, okay, this person is ours. We can't deny this person. You know what I mean? So,
I get it.
Yeah. So he was a very well-read, very, you know, when I look at his life from his books, from the pictures that I've seen. He was a very well-read, very well-traveled, and you know, open-minded person. He was the kind of man who read the Quran or the Torah and the Bible, and you know, so yeah, so very, I wouldn't say liberal, maybe that's not the right word, but very open. And that's what artists should be, because I don't like it when people call me an actress. Let me digress a little bit. Because I am a female, I'm a woman who's an actor, so I'm a female actor, if we have to put me in a box, right?
But you're just an
actor.
actor.
That, yeah, it means
You're
that
an
I can act as Lodeki,
and
I can act as myself, and I can act as, so as actors, it's not fair to box us. Yeah, and so that we don't remain in a box, we have to read, we have to expand our knowledge, we have to keep growing. We have to say, okay, this year I'm here, next year I want to be here. So how do I get here? It's the same way you do a vision board, for example, of your career or of your life. I want to find myself doing X and Y and Z in 5 years from now. So how do I get there? So as much as, you know, people might not look at it as a career, it does have the same sort of tenets. You still have to chart your path, figure out what you want to learn, what you need to add, what you need to take away. It's the same thing.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. Theater was good old days for you.
Good old days.
How did you transition now to start doing TV?
So that's a little bit of a sad story, because I left the theater maybe early 2000s, 2003, thereabouts, 2002. And it was simply because I needed an income that made sense. You know, I remember one time I was asked by someone, if I mention their name, I'll be in trouble. And she asked me, actually, okay, to be fair, it was my mom. She just asked me, when are you going to get a real job? But me, I've been working. I have been working. You know, why would anyone say something like that? But they also come from a different school, yeah? So, of course, the theater didn't pay that well. It wasn't sustainable. You couldn't say, okay, now I'm going to do 5 plays in a year and I'll have enough to sustain myself, to pay my rent, to, you know, sort out my responsibilities. So I got into film production. And I started out at Blue Sky Films. And it was good old days when, you know, we used to do big things. So Blue Sky focused a lot on international productions, and I learned a lot about production. And they had a really, I presume they still do, they had a really awesome team. So I did a few things there, and then I finally somehow ended up in at Ayton Young and Rubicam, which was an advertising agency. And I mean, we did some awesome stuff. And I sort of got a bug there as well. I really enjoyed being in the advertising space. And advertising was just fun. We did fun campaigns. I mean, it was a lot of work, make no mistake. It was a lot of work, but there was also a lot of gratification that came with the work that we did. So it was good times. Then I left AYNR and I moved to Cape Town for a time. And, you know, that was what it was. Maybe a little bit of a learning curve, if I can call it. Being in a new country, no friends, wasn't the easiest time. So when I came back to Kenya, they say, if it doesn't kill you,
Makes you stronger.
it makes you stronger. So I was stronger. Mind you, when I say that, Cape Town was also had its highs, yeah? So let me not rubbish it so much. But I was stronger for it. Came back to Kenya, started working at Scanad, did Scanad. That was fun. It was hard, also hard work, but good fun as well. Moved around within the advertising space in Nairobi. Did a little bit in Kigali as well.
Wow.
And Dar es Salaam.
Wow.
And then in 2017, one day I woke up and I just said, I've had enough.
Okay.
That was March 2017. March? Or maybe February. Beginning of 2017. I had enough. And I just said, this is not me. I don't want to do this. And I saw, what woke me up was I saw a post from Gerald Langiri saying, oh, looking for da, 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 da. So I texted him and I said, do you think I could, do this role? He said, please, Gerald, he was very official. Send your audition. And I said, okay, thank you. I'll do that.
Langiri.
So, yeah, so I don't even know how I did that because Gerald and I were not friends at the time, I don't think. Or rather, I didn't know him. So it's just one of those things that's, serendipity. It just happens.
Yeah.
And it happens because maybe you're in the right place at the right time. I was on Facebook. So I saw it and I was like, oh, okay. I don't want to do this anymore. So how about I try this? Because I know this is tried and tested. I just haven't done the TV. Oh, there's a show I did. No, I don't remember. It was called Changes. It was an Mnet show. Yeah. So I did that somewhere in the middle of my advertising. I did State House as well.
Yes.
So I had gotten the
State
taste.
House was on Zuku. Yes, on Zuku. By
So,
Wanuri, right?
Yes, by Wanuri.
Amazing.
That was really good. That was really good. I mean, her mind is like I would like to be a fly on the wall of her mind for a month.
Good. She's good.
Yeah. Yeah. So I had done that somewhere in between the advertising, my advertising time.
Yeah.
And when I saw this, I was ready to quit my job. And, I just told God, you know what? I need a sign because I'm really disgruntled and disillusioned right now about the space I'm in. And I need something. And I quit my job. Before I went for the audition, I quit my job.
Wow. That was so bold.
Aye.
What if you were rejected?
I know, right? So I quit my job and I...
If Langiri said, don't call us. I will call you.
Oh my God. Nah, thankfully he didn't.
Wow.
So I quit my job. 2 days later, I went for the, Gerald had posted the audition was going to be on such and such date. So I went. And I looked. And I was just like, I'm not doing this. I am so not doing this. First of all, I was given a piece of paper that said 174. Like there are 173 people ahead of me. And I was just like, no, I was just doing a slow backslide out of the place. I was like, yeah, don't worry, I'm just going to get some passport-sized pictures taken at Junction. I'll be right back,
Don't tell me you never came back.
I walked out, and as I was just getting to the gate at Supersport, somebody called me. And I turned around and I see this gentleman. He says, are you Helen Keli? I'm like, yes. I've never seen him before in my life. And he said, are you leaving? Have you auditioned? I said, no, I'm going to take some pictures at the Junction. He told me, no, come. Just come. So I was like, now I have to wait for 173 people. In my head, it was very discouraging. And it's very discouraging.
If you've ever gone to auditions in this country, you'll know how it's crowded.
Yeah.
You'll know how
I felt like
crowded.
I was going to vote. I was just like, you know what, must I really do this? But
Moi
also,
style, mlolongo.
Yeah, but also I felt very strongly about it. So when this gentleman called me, he asked me, okay, I said, okay. I went back to talk to him. And he said, please, can I just bring for you something you read?
Okay.
So I was like, yeah, sure. And I went and I read, and he told me, please don't go. We can get your pictures another time. Please don't go.
Wow.
So that gentleman turns out to be Ruben Odanga.
Oh my God.
Yeah. He's the one who
Oh my
stopped
God.
my backslide.
Wow.
He saved me from the backslide.
Wow.
Yeah, so I auditioned. I was shortlisted. I auditioned again. And thankfully, truly by God's grace, because I was leaving,
Yes.
you know, I got the role of Patricia,
On Selina.
which, to put it mildly, was a life-altering experience.
Wow.
That 5 years was completely life-changing. I made 1,000 mistakes.
Wow.
But I also won in that, first of all, nobody can prepare you for something like that. I thank God that I got the opportunity to do it. But nobody prepares you. Nobody could have told us that's what was going to happen to that show. And I'm really grateful that it turned out.
Huge show.
Yeah.
Especially when the first episode came out that time, it was a wave. It was a wave because I think we had not seen such a telenovela for quite some time on Kenyan TV.
Yeah.
And then Selina comes up and everyone is talking about it. People are playing the scores,
Yeah.
Selina, and it was big. Looking at the journey, the decision you made, quitting your job, do you ever regret it?
No, that was a sure yes. Like I told God, remember the conversation I said, I told God, I need a sign that I'm doing the right thing. Because I can't stay here anymore. And so I'll tell you one thing, that sometimes in every career or in every profession, there's sometimes you just get to a place where you've said, you know what, I'm done.
Yeah.
And I was done. There was no, I even tried, so I quit my job and then I was like, okay, let me go look for a job here, let me go look for a job there. But nothing, I never did it with any conviction. If I'm honest, I didn't do it with conviction. When I walked into that audition, conviction was my first name. Like I was inside it completely, 100%. I want this, I need this, I am now living and breathing this small sides I've been given 20 minutes ago, you know.
Wow.
So I feel acting in my soul, like in my belly. I get very engrossed. I can't even explain. I cannot explain it to you.
The feeling.
Yeah.
Let me just take you back on stage. And this just generally, what makes a good stage performer?
So firstly, I think stage and TV are like chalk and cheese. Stage is the as much as you internalize your role. For me, this is a personal opinion. I think on stage I internalize a lot more on a whole different level. Let me not say a lot more. I think the levels are different. I think the like I said, chalk and cheese. The tenets are the same, the basics are the same, but stage, because I'm actually looking at you as I perform, is really different. When I'm on stage doing a role, I feed off you. I feed off you as the audience a lot. So when you have a bad audience, it very easily affects your performance. However, that notwithstanding, you are an actor, right?
Yeah.
So you act regardless of
the audience,
the person who you're feeding off. Yeah. Secondly, I feel that the way, in the days when I used to do theater, the ways I looked at the script was so different.
Okay.
Yeah. So with theater, you're given a whole script. Sometimes with TV, you're given,
Episodes.
piecemeal,
Yeah,
given
yeah.
5 episodes, 10 episodes. Whereas on stage, I'll see it all. So I can visualize this person from the beginning until the end. So I can ask the questions of her before and her after that will dictate the during, the part where the actor and the audience are engaged.
Yeah.
So for me, stage is like my first love.
Wow.
Because you can't cheat. Yeah, you have to really be true to whoever it is you're playing. If you're a mad woman, for a few days after the performance, people are really wondering about you, because you become.
Yes.
It's the same with TV. You become the person, but with stage, I think it's a little more intense for some reason. Just because you have, because now I can see you. I really have to be true. I have to be true. If that's a word.
Coming back to TV, what are some of those defining roles that you've done on TV and you're like, wow, I think this is it. This is one of those roles that really defined me. For creative, they normally say the next project is a bigger than the previous project, and the next one is the big, and the next one. So you keep on going. But once in a while, we normally get casted in roles that we say, this was one of my defining role. Which one is that for you?
Okay, that's an interesting one. So, first of all, I'll say I always have a love affair with my characters. So, I fall in love with them because I have to be them. That sounds a bit mad.
But it's okay. It's true. You are renting your body to this particular character.
So all those little voices in my head, I have to pick one and say, that's who this is.
Yeah.
So I can't ignore Patricia. I mean, I did play her longest.
Wow.
And I'll be very honest, in the first maybe year or two, I actually changed into Patricia. And when I realized, it was even affecting the people around me, I had to go home, sit in the car for 20 minutes, and then get out. when she left me, or I left her in the car, or whatever.
It reminds me of the memes that normally go around. Why do men have to sit 5 minutes in the car before leaving?
Yeah, first you have to just you have to just figure it out a bit before you go and expose yourself to the new
Now
scenario.
You're going home, you're going to be a parent.
Yeah.
You are leaving Patricia.
I had to leave her many times. When I realized it, maybe it wasn't even 2 years, maybe it was actually longer. I then had to be intentional about leaving her behind. But I will say, when her character died, I actually thought, I felt in myself that it's like my best friend had died. And it really affected me. Like the day when we were shooting and I saw the script, or rather the day before we were shooting the scenes leading up to, and if you watch those episodes, I was crying for real. It wasn't acting, I felt like my friend was dying, and I knew she was dying. It's crazy.
I think this is what keeps you going. You give yourself to these roles. You get yourself into it, which is sometimes hard for some people to do. You become that particular character. You live that character.
Yeah.
You are that character. You move around that character. And now it comes to the question of de-rolling. Now, you've played such a long-term role on TV, and now the role is done. What's the process of de-rolling from a role?
So I'll use Patricia again as an example, simply because it was the longest.
Yes, yes.
The first thing I did was I mourned her. Like, that sounds, again, crazy. I assure you, I am not...
Crazy.
I think my mental state is as good as anyone else's. But I mourned her. I did mourn her. In fact, the day when they were shooting the funeral scenes, I said I didn't want to be there. Because it was just too close to home. Imagine, like, I even asked myself when I got home a few days before shooting, but I'd read the script, I was just like, what is this? Like, how am I feeling like this for something that is not even real? But for me, derolling was almost what you would do in real life if you were faced with the situation.
Yeah.
You know, it's acceptance. Like, let me accept that this is not a thing. This is not a person. And even if it was a person, I will grieve them and know that they are dead. You know, they are no longer.
Yeah, they're no longer with us.
Yeah. So it took a lot of work in terms of just mental work, meditation, just being in myself. I don't know if that makes any sense. Remembering who I am, being in myself, knowing, okay, that's a Helen thought. That's not a Helen thought. And being able to compartmentalize and say, this is now over. But also the things that are happening in reality also help you, yeah?
Yes.
So
you keep yourself in the present.
yeah, you have to be present, you know? And one thing I used to do a lot, so Patricia was a very serious character. She was very, a lot, you know, for want of a better word. So one thing that helped me get out of it was I started laughing at myself a lot more. And I was just like, yeah, stop it. Stop that nonsense.
Before we rolled, you told me you're an introvert.
I am.
Yes.
Imagine, let me tell you, can I just be honest? And I'm putting this out there because we've had debates with people who actually don't believe me. I was the shyest person that you could ever meet. Ever. Like, I was shy. Like, you would talk to me and the words would form in my head.
But you won't say.
But they can't come out. So, which is one of the reasons, by the way, I joined the theater. Because of how shy I was. In the house there with my siblings, I would yap all the way home. But when you put me outside, you know, I was insecure. I suppose we all feel insecure from time to time. But I just felt like, yikes, you know. And I didn't like being around people. I was like, you know, yeah, that was hard.
Because I'm looking at now, you are in your own space, you're trying to derole, and you are this introverted person, you're not talking to anyone. Looking at that, you might find yourself mourning the role even much more.
Yeah. And that's why I said, for me, Patricia was difficult. It was difficult because somehow along the way, I started to love her. And I didn't even realize, by the way. It's madness. So let me just love something that's been created in the air. But I suppose it's the same thing that happens to the audience, because you start loving somebody who's actually not real. And I remember one time, actually, we had a meet and greet, and one of the ladies who came to, we had a meet and greet at Prestige, the movie theater. So we would watch like one episode. Yeah. And then the cast the audience would ask the cast questions and stuff like that. And this chick just stood up and she started crying about how, I forget my son's name now. Regan was treating Selina, and she was angry, and how can you do this? And she just started crying. Wow. Like crying and saying, I hate you.
And I think that's the beauty of our job.
Yeah.
Creating something that is not there.
That affects people so deeply.
Wow.
I remember one time I met a lady in town, and she stopped me. And she said, Patricia, can I just talk to you for a minute? I said, of course. And she started crying. And she said, oh, my husband, he even treats me like this, and he does that. And she actually thought that we were having the same issue. And I felt really bad, because I didn't want to tell her, okay.
TV.
Yeah. Honestly, I felt bad because I was like, okay. Before I got to the point where I said, the only reason she feels like this is because the the world we have created as
Yes.
the actors on Selina was so believable
Yeah.
to so many people and so relatable,
Yeah.
you know. You could see people relating to an evil, quote unquote, stepmother. You could see people relating to
The troubled marriage.
yeah, the troubled marriage, the you know, the philandering husband. You could see
Yeah.
people relating to Selina's plight, you know. So
Wow.
yeah, it was
What does that make you feel as an artist when you meet people and they're like, they've watched your character on TV and they are part of your life for that particular character as an actor? What does that make you feel?
it's the reason that we do the job.
Wow.
When I joined Ayton Young and Rubicam, my boss said something to me, and I don't remember the exact words, but he said, if you're not creating disruptive communication, you're not communicating. Something along those lines. And that's what Selina was.
Yeah.
It was disruptive, just to put it mildly, because it came out of nowhere, you know, when the audience looks at it. It just came and suddenly we were glued. We were just like,
Yes.
you know.
Yes. Yes.
So, like I said in the beginning, it was a life-altering experience for most of us. I feel confident enough to say.
Wow. You did an amazing job on
Thank you.
Patricia.
Thank you.
An amazing job on Patricia. And when it comes to movies, there are actors who are mainly for TV. They can be able to be on TV for quite some time. And then there are actors who are, like for me, I'm going just to do movies. I know in our industry, Kenyan film industry, maybe we are not yet there. You might find actors doing stage, doing TV, doing film. Doing film, is it the same for you as doing TV?
Well, I suppose yes and no, because with TV, I suppose the format would be longer in terms of the duration.
Yes, yes, yes.
With film, I suppose it could be an in and out. So you meet this character, you get to know the character, you become the character, and then you shed the character off.
You live it.
Whereas with TV, you meet the character, you fall in love with the character, you get to know the character, and you're getting to know them every day.
Yeah.
Because some of the time you're like, what? She did what? You know? Well, I suppose a character shouldn't be predictable, but you know, you get into a rhythm. Whereas maybe with a movie, maybe you don't have that much time.
Okay.
So I would say they are different in that respect. In Kenya, I don't think we are ready. We are there yet. So I can't say I only do TV series or I only do movies. But I pray that we get there.
We will get there.
Yeah.
What do you think, what are your thoughts on the current state of our industry in terms of film and TV?
Wow. Can I say I don't have thoughts?
You must have a thought. You are in this industry, you know? You wake up, you look at this industry and you're like, okay, I think this is what is happening.
I think what makes me hopeful is, first of all, it's not the same as the days when I was shooting Changes or when I was shooting State House. So there's an upward trajectory. Yeah,
we can't deny that.
That is undeniable. I do wish it could happen quicker because we've got such amazing talent in this country, and we need to get to the point where we're actually releasing stuff that is going, at the very least, Africa-wide. If I go to Netflix right now, I mean, there's a show on Netflix, I don't remember. I think it was called How to Ruin Christmas.
It's from South Africa?
Yes, a South African show. And they've got a new, like a spin-off of it now, I can't remember. But I remember finding it by mistake You know, one of those days, have you ever looked through Netflix and you're just
Yeah.
looking and you end up looking, all you've done is look, but you've looked for the duration of a 2.5 hour feature.
Looking for something
Looking
to watch.
for something to watch.
Yeah.
Not that there's nothing, but
there is.
there is, but you're just like, okay, then you move on, then you move on, then you just go down a vortex of sorts. But I found How to Ruin Christmas by mistake. And I'm not into comedy that much because it's very difficult to make me laugh, like on purpose. I find comedy a bit weird like that. Like I'm like, okay, I'm expecting you to make me laugh, okay? So because of that, I don't laugh.
Maybe it's because you're a creative.
I don't know, but if you're going to call it a comedy, now I'm sitting there with the remote, expecting you to make me laugh.
It's the expectation.
Yes, I'm expecting you to make me laugh. Then I don't laugh. Then I'm like, no, I don't like comedy.
Don't watch movies with expectation, Helen.
So that is not possible.
Just watch for entertainment. Whatever it will take you.
I try. Nowadays I try. I've gotten better, but no.
Okay.
Not yet.
So you watch it?
So I opened How to Ruin Christmas and I said, okay, you know what? There's another guy there who has a sheep. Okay, you have to watch it to understand.
No, I have watched it.
Yeah.
I watched the first one. I haven't watched the second one.
Yeah, okay. The first one I think is better. So this guy, he's called Uncle Somebody. He was the most unexpected comedic relief for me. Because I'm not a huge fan of slapstick humor, but that guy made me laugh. And his sheep was called Succulent. I mean... I don't even need to say anymore. The name itself. So I was like, okay, I like this thing. And they are very, very silly. They do silly things in sort of kind of real life situations. Maybe I'm not explaining it very well, but it just made me realize there's so much as Kenyans we have to give. If I look at something like that versus something that's been created locally, I'll not lie to you, around Africa, I think Kenyans are very close to the top of the list. In terms of everything, technology, creativity, like business savvy, mindedness, whatever. Like I think we are really close to the top. But I also think many times we shoot ourselves in the foot. And I really hope and pray that the film industry can shake off what it needs to shake off and just grow in earnest, because it can be one of the highest earners for this country. It can be, it has the potential to be. When you open TikTok.
Yes.
I have an allergy to TikTok. But
I'm also struggling with it, but I can watch videos.
Yeah, when you open TikTok and you see the kind of content these younger people are creating.
Creative.
Now imagine you put a structure around that content.
Wow.
It's almost a no-brainer.
What would you want to see happen?
I would like to see more funding for independent creators. I would like to, because the industry has to grow.
Yes.
Right? The industry has to grow, and it has to grow organically. And I think for that to happen, and this is a personal opinion, is we have to have more money moving around the sector so that you can create, so that I can create, so that Sami can create. All right?
Yeah.
Imagine a situation where we have 5 big productions, 6, 10 big productions happening concurrently.
Yes.
It means jobs for how many people?
Oh, a lot. A lot.
Yeah.
One production can employ to almost
150 people.
150, 200 people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If today we have a huge project and we say we are going to shoot it in Turkana, and we have a crew of 200 people, we have already changed the GDP of that county.
Yes, it's true.
If we say that project will take 4 years.
Wow. A lot will change.
A lot will change.
Yeah.
You will change the lives of the people on the ground. You will change the lives of the people who are working on the production. You will change even just the way people see this industry.
Do you think it's policies, bodies, or?
I think we need structure.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we need a structure that is, I fail to find the word, but we need a structure that will propel us forward. Sometimes when there are too many cooks in the kitchen, we're all running around. We are not really cooking. You know, we're all just running around. The tomato has been cut halfway, the onion has been peeled halfway, the garlic is doing what it's doing. So we need structure to say this is where we are going.
Yeah.
This is how we want to go, and this is how long it should take us
To reach there.
to get there. So we need also to be able to tick some boxes and say, are we at our 5-year mark? Can we call ourselves out? Can we say we need to run this thing almost like a corporate?
Talking about that, something really interesting happened just in a few months ago in across the Hollywood, USA and stuff. The script writers decided, you know what, we are not giving production studios our scripts. This and this need to change. These people came out in one voice, in one structure, under a body, as you say, corporate. Okay? When it comes here, we have guilds for actors, for script writers, for crew members. If you want our voice to be heard, we need to be part of something, because the government won't listen to an individual. If I start talking today as Rodeki, the government won't listen to me. But if I'm part of something, community, the government will listen to me. As a creative, are you part of any guild, which is maybe Actors Guild?
No, actually, I'm not.
Why?
Well, can I say I don't have a good reason for that? I remember when they were asking us to join, and the Actors Guild, and I sort of put that on the back burner, and then there was Prisk that came up, and I put that on the back burner, and now there's something new. So I don't begrudge them for what they are doing. I think they, their intentions are in the right place. I do think maybe this is wishful thinking, but we need, as actors, so you have actors, you have crew, you have screenwriters, you have TV cast, TV crew, and you have TV cast. You have women filmmakers. You have so many. So there's so much going on. It's not possible to do this when we are so fragmented. We have to come together, and the coming together is for our own benefit. I just feel that maybe that's not what's happening now. Sometimes, not to go, actually I'll not say that, because now I'll start going into a political side.
Do you know we cannot avoid politics?
No, we can't.
It runs everything.
We can't avoid politics, but I don't need to go there.
It's okay.
I don't need to go there simply because it is a personal opinion, and we are talking about an entire industry.
Yes.
So
that you are a part of.
I am a part of.
Yes.
A small part. I do think we need to come together. Because you're right, government will not listen to us if we are fragmented. That coming together, is quite something. South Africa has its own issues, but they've taken what they can and done what they can with the coming together. They've not done it badly, not necessarily. I don't know what happens in West Africa, but for Kenya, like I said, we are top of the list in terms of business mindedness, in terms of just strategic thinking, in terms of the talent that we are talking about. I think we need to depoliticize, if that's a word. And we need to take that out. Why am I saying that? We need to create a structure that will propel this forward. Now, if we put politics in there, it's going to be about Lodeki and Helen.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
But if we make it about all of us and what we stand to gain, because we all stand to gain, even the person who's just entering the industry or the person who's been in the industry for 50 years, we all stand to gain.
Yeah.
When we gain, through our work, the government gains. All right? The counties gain, like the national government, the counties, the whole, because nowadays I see people going to shoot in outside of Nairobi.
Yeah.
So
Mombasa, Nakuru.
yeah. So if you're talking about shooting in Machakos, for example, the county gains. By the time you're looking around and you say, okay, let me get some extras, you get some extras from there. Like you're already contributing to the local scenario. So I think we need to be a little less introspective and look at how this industry is going to feed us. Because if we allow it, it can blow us out of the water. But I do think right now there's too many personalities, and we are going to, the way it's looking, politicize it. And the minute we do that, then
becomes something else.
It stops to benefit the people
in it,
in the way that it should. It will benefit you.
But maybe,
but maybe not in the way that it should, and that's the sad bit.
Wow. Recently, you were part of a short film. It's called Thief.
Yes.
And they made you look a bit older.
Not a bit.
You are old.
Don't sugarcoat it.
You are old in that film. Guys, Helen Keli has a movie. It's on My Movies Africa. You guys can rush there and watch this film and see the magic she has created on it. How was it working on A Thief with the Miale Studios? Yeah,
that was amazing. That was amazing. So when I saw the script, Andrew contacted me and he said, listen, I have a script. I didn't know who Andrew was. In fact, sorry, Andrew, sorry.
It's okay.
When he contacted me, I actually thought, okay, maybe this is a fake. I was like, I don't know this guy. How has he found my number? Like so many things. So he said, oh, I got your number from Gerald. So I said, oh, okay, fine, I'll open the script.
Langiri.
Yeah. So I read the script and I was like, wow, wow. And he sent me the script together with a link to a movie they had done previously that's on YouTube. Oh my gosh, I was so excited.
Wow.
I was so excited because first, okay, let's be honest, as Kenyans, we kind of have a format. These guys are not there. They are not on that page. So there I was watching this film, and it's a short film on YouTube. It's called The Collector.
The Collector.
The Collector. Please go and watch it.
Yes.
So I went to watch The Collector, and I was like, oh, the whole time. I was holding my breath the whole time. It was in the right direction, definitely in the right direction. It had my attention the whole time. And anyway, so I start reading this. After I watched The Collector, I'm like, okay, now I want to read the script.
Yes.
So I read the script and I was like, yes. Like, you don't need to ask me twice. You just tell me where I sign, I'm coming. When do we start? Because it's something that I haven't seen before, done locally. It was just different in the way that it was written. And you could see, I could see how Andrew was thinking when he wrote it. You know, I could see the woman. I could see, like, it's written very well. I really hope that we executed it and gave that script justice, because it was written really well.
It's an amazing script, and that's why I'm
Yeah.
telling guys to go to my Movies Africa and watch this film.
Yeah, absolutely.
You worked with some of the guys I really, really admire. Someone like Luca Relli.
Yes.
We call him Black Pepper.
Yeah. So Luca is special. Oh my God, we'd never really worked together before. I know he was on Selina, but my character and his never met. So he would be on set when I was not on set, and their location was different from because I shot primarily in the house. Anyway.
Yeah.
So Luca, first day on set, on the Thief set.
Yes.
First day we are meeting, and he comes and says hi, and I was like, hey, hi, what's up? So we know each other from social media, you know, and I see him on TV, and I suppose he sees me on TV, and I met him, and you know, he's a pretty good looking guy. And I was like, yeah, hi. And he hands me a box of chocolates.
Oh, wow.
I was like, okay. I'm not saying anything, but a lot of people could learn from Luca. He was really, he was just so amazing to work with. Him and Nemvisa were just amazing.
Yes.
Now, Luca and I met in the vault. Him and Nemvisa have been doing all their scenes, and they've created a chemistry, and they've found a nice rhythm.
Yeah.
So I meet the first scene we shot, I think was it in the vault? Yeah, or the significant scene was in the vault. And I was like, yeah. And we are trying to create chemistry, and we've not been on set together, and we're just, muddling our way around and trying to figure it out. And we had, forget what you see on the screen. We had such a ball doing it. I mean, I really enjoyed being on set with them.
Wow.
They're very generous actors, if that makes any sense. We fed off a lot of each other, and we just fell into step. I don't know if that makes sense. We just fell into step with each other.
And you created magic.
We did, and it felt good. It's
an amazing shot. It's an amazing shot.
It did feel good. It felt so good. It was one of those things where you feel very nervous doing. When you start doing it, I'm just like, oh, I've never done anything like this before. This crazy character, she's mad or she's not. We all have that little part of us in our lives, to be honest. We all have. And I was just thinking, okay, how do we do this? Also, don't forget, also with Thief, it was very intrusive for me. Because everyone's touching you,
Yeah.
Everyone is touching you. When I say everyone is touching you...
You mean everyone?
Everyone is touching you. Oh, this person is doing this. Oh, this person is that. This one has your hand. The other one has your hand. Wardrobe is there trying to fix you. Everyone is touching you. Now, remember where I've come from, yeah?
Yeah.
I was counting to 1, 2, 3. I got used to it because we did a few trial runs before, but wow, that's not easy. That's not easy. Everyone
you guys made
is
magic, and
business.
I really want someone to go and watch Thief on my Movies Africa. Acting is a business, apart from just being passion and talent. Over the years, how have you been able to convert it into a business?
I don't know if I have. I honestly don't know if I have. I've always treated acting as... So I don't want to call it my job.
Okay.
Because once you put that label on it, it's like you just ruin the relationship with the thing. Yeah.
You are there for the check.
Yeah, it stops being that thing that wakes you up, that thing that if you can't do without, the one that, when you wake up in the morning, you're like jet fuel. So I don't want to call it a business, and I don't want to call it a job. So I cannot say that I've done that. I do understand your question. So you're trying to find out how the business side of the creative,
yes, is working for you as Helen Keli.
So has it worked? I don't know. I'm
Because
still
I
here.
think it's the most hardest
It is very
part
difficult.
for many people, especially most actors don't have managers or talent managers.
Yeah.
And if you get to a point that you have talent manager, it means maybe your revenue stream are really getting
Yeah.
broader.
Yeah.
So you need someone to manage those revenue streams for you. And now comes a question, how do I separate Helen the creative and Helen the product?
Right. So I will just be clear with you on that one. I have not done that in a way that I suppose would be called successful.
Okay.
What I do, however, is I do separate the two. I suppose compartmentalize it, whereby I try to create multiple streams of income, and so it's not so heavy on one part. So I still do advertising, marketing here and there. I'll still go and do a couple of voiceovers. I'm not very big on that, but I try to pick and choose. So I try to balance everything out so that I don't lean too much on one, because then for me that therefore means that if this one is not there, then I'm struggling. So I have tried to look at it that way. It's not easy, and that's why I'm saying I haven't been successful, because you don't have a projection of Lodeki is going to call me on Tuesday, Peter is going to call me on Thursday, and such is going to call me, the following week. So you don't know what's coming. So it's hard to plan. However, what I do wish would happen is I do wish, generally as an industry, we got paid better. Because if you look at, for most actors, if you don't have other streams of income and you're only, even maybe crew, and you're only depending on this job, what happens is you're only good when you're working. When the job ends, we start raising money, we start, coming to find how you're doing, how is your mental health, how is all of that. So if we are able to plan and to budget in a way that will allow you say, okay, fine, this job is ending here, I probably can be okay for the next 8 to 12 months, for example. I'm not saying that's what it should be, but you are able to provide for yourself. It also stops putting such a strain on the person that you are going to depend on next for your job, because what that means then is that when I come back or when I get the next job, I'll undersell myself. And we are creatives. We need to be in spaces where we are thriving. For your product to, to come alive.
Yes.
You need someone who is not thinking about other things. When I come on set or when I read my script, I need to be thinking about this character that I've been given.
And be fully there.
And be fully there. Not, one foot in the door. And that's the thing about art, any kind of art. You can't do it halfway. James Falkland used to say, you can't make love sideways. You can, but, I'm sure you understand what he was saying.
I understand.
Yeah, he basically said you can't do it halfway. True. You've got to go all the way or not at all.
Wow.
So it's difficult to say that we are able to necessarily create a structure and a business structure
out of it. I don't know if it's true, but some actors in the industry say if you speak about pay rise or something, you get blacklisted. I don't know if it's true or if it's something that is happening.
Well,
Have you been
I don't know.
blacklisted?
I don't know. How can I know? I don't have the list.
If you're not getting roast, you know someone is not.
If I don't have the list, I can't answer that question. I can't say yes or no.
You need to see the list.
I need to see the list and say, oh my God, my name is not here.
But yeah, some say.
Okay, let me also be honest. I've coming from a corporate background.
Yes.
I find younger people sometimes have completely unrealistic views of life. Okay? I remember when I was in advertising one time, this young person came and said that they wanted 200,000. And they were very serious. This is in 2015. Entry level, you're out of campus, this is your first job. Sometimes I feel that these guys don't have a grasp on reality. So, let me answer your question. Pay rise. Look, you'll be told, this is how much we're offering. You have some wiggle room, of course, like in any
business
in any organization.
Yeah.
You have a cap where your producer will tell you, listen, for this role, this is the budget. You have some wiggle room, so you negotiate. And if the money doesn't suit you, so you leave, right? Yeah, you leave. The thing that we always have to remember as artists is there's always going to be someone who will do it for less. There is always going to be. We've talked about how much talent there is here. So also it's about whether you want to do the job or not. So I don't know about I don't know about being blacklisted because of asking for a pay rise. I think it's in any industry, if you outbid yourself, you outbid yourself. Somebody else will get the job. I'm more of a firm believer of doing the job and proving your worth. Okay? So when your worth is undeniable, then you have, can take your legs to the table and say, I've earned my seat here, and this is what I think I'm worth.
Wow.
And then they'll say, okay, fine, but then, this budget, maybe you won't get to what you want, but you will not go unheard. But I'm a firm believer of always proving your worth. You create value.
Yeah.
Once you create value in Lodeki, people will see the value you bring. You have brought that value. It is undeniable. We are not talking about something that's abstract. We are talking about this guy who has earned his spot. Once you do that, it's easy for you. Easier, not easy, maybe. But it's easier for you to say, okay, listen, I know that's your budget, but can we consider this? Then, because you're both adults, you don't go there pig-headed and saying it's my way or the highway. No, because we are not there, and we all want to work. So I would say I don't know about any blacklist. I don't know about any, if you've outbid yourself, pole sana. But before you go to negotiate, ask yourself, and this is a thing that I always ask people to do, old, young, middle, is look yourself in the mirror and evaluate yourself. You have to be self-aware. You have to know, look, I'm an average actor, or I am the bee's knees, or I am just starting out. You have to be honest with yourself as an artist, any kind of artist, whether you're a musician, an actor, a painter. You have to be honest with yourself, because art is consumed differently by different people, and that value that we're talking about might not be seen as value by Lodeki, but maybe somebody else might see it as value. So it's a really sort of precarious place when we are talking about money. But my advice to anybody would be create value.
Create value.
Make yourself valuable. Let people know when Lodeki is on my set, I'm in the money. That's value.
Wow.
Yeah, so I hope maybe that's...
You've answered the question very well. There is a show that is currently running on Showmax. My people, Shika Showmax, okay? Single Kiasi. And
Okay.
I think this is a different type of role
Yeah.
from what you played on Patricia, on what you play on Thief, and there are major roles you've done before, but I'm just trying to look on the latest one. How was it filming Single Kiasi and knowing this is the kind of role I'm playing and this is what I'm portraying?
So, yeah, that's a wow. So, I read the script. And I was like, okay. So I had just come from doing an acting class. And, oh, by the way, that's another thing. As an actor, as an artist, you must always make yourself better. You must always go to school, even if you're doing an accounting course, even if you're doing a writing class, like, grow your mind.
Yeah, we're coming there.
Yeah.
We're coming there.
Yeah, so I had just done this class. And this guy, the teacher, he said, do not be afraid of words. So we were doing the acting class with my daughter.
Oh, wow.
And he was telling my daughter, don't be afraid of words. And I was like, yeah, don't be afraid of words. And then he gave her a script with all the F words, all. The ones you know and the ones you don't know. You know, I had to walk out of the room. That's another story. So don't be afraid of words. As an actor. I'm not talking about real life.
Yes.
So I looked at the script. I'll just tell the truth. In my head, I was just like, woi, the pastor will kill me. That was my first...
Now, mama wa chama.
The first, my most honest, true moment was that one. I was just like, woi, the pastor. But then also, I came out of that because I was really in my head. I came out of that and I thought, you know what? The people know it's TV.
Yeah.
The people who know me know it's not me. Well, anyway, so I was very nervous doing that. That clip that's gone viral.
It's viral.
Was my first day on set.
Yeah.
And I could not breathe. I was feeling like my stomach's in a knot.
And there are actually two that are viral, though.
The first, well, yeah, I'm talking about the one. I think you know it.
I know the one.
So I was so nervous. I felt like I was going to pass out. But I'll tell you one thing. My director on that day, so I had two directors for Single Kiasi. I had Grace Kihaki and Philippe Bresson. That day was Philippe, and he was just awesome. He brought me from here. I was like, you know. And then he just brought me down and just told me, this is just a character. Yeah. It's just a woman who feels like this. And there's nothing wrong with her.
It's okay.
And there's nothing wrong with you.
Yeah. So
create the bridge, you know, that helps you get from where I am to where she is. So it worked, I guess. The proof is in the pudding.
It worked. I saw, I bumped the clip on pages that are not Kenyan.
Yeah.
Because you could see the comment, these are like, I think these are Mexicans. You see someone typing, you know, you have to translate.
Right.
And you see people are asking,
really?
Which show is this? Someone says, I think it's a show on... If tonight, I think some Kenyans, someone asked, Wakenya tuko hapa? You know, we are everywhere. When you go to TikTok, you see something Kenyan. Kenyans come, someone will say, Wakenya tuko hapa? And then they start chatting. And then now you find people are following up to know, oh, this is from Kenya. Oh, it's a show on Showmax. Oh, wow. Yeah. And
wow.
It's really...
That really warms my heart. I'm so happy to hear that. Like, Selina viatu.
It's trendy, yeah. Just have a cocktail before
No. I see what you did there.
Oh, wow. So Single Kiasi is out there, and it's an amazing show. It's really, really doing good. apart from just acting, some people go into mentorship,
Yeah.
giving back, or you find yourself doing other things, not necessarily for income, but just, we are not on TV 365 days of the year, but sometimes you get time during those breaks when you're not on TV. What else what are you doing?
So, like I said, I consult for marketing and advertising. Maybe that's not a really big part of my life at the moment. I did join the Rotary Club.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, so Rotary has become very dear to me. We are a charity organization. I'd like to really make that clear.
I was
The
about
guys
to.
think
I was
think
about
other things. No,
You're not giving us money.
What we do is we raise money because we are a group. So let's say the 5 of us form a club. Okay, we form a club, and every week we say we will give 500 shillings. Okay, we meet once a week, and every week we'll give 500 shillings. Okay, so at the end of the month we'll have X amount, and it goes and it goes and it goes, and eventually we'll be able to look around us and say, oh, have you seen those guys there? They need X and Y and Z. So we provide for the community around us, the communities around us that are less fortunate than we are. That is Rotary. It is nothing else. We do a lot of charity work. In fact, all we do is charity work. We don't, we socialize, of course we socialize because we tend to be of around the same age. So like-minded individuals. We have fun.
Wow.
We will go do X, we will go do Y, but in all those X's and Y's, we are raising money. So if we say, for example, today, like last week or the week before, we had karaoke night. And we had karaoke night, and we'll raise money and we'll say it's karaoke night, but today our monies are going to X. And we'll do that.
Amazing.
As we are laughing and singing and making maybe sometimes fools of ourselves or enjoying ourselves, we will raise money. Rotary is also for business people. I mean, can I not say, let me maybe not say business people, it's for professionals, right? So you as a content producer are welcome to join Rotary. Someone who is in construction is welcome to join Rotary. Someone who is self-employed and is a farmer in Kinangop, for example, is welcome to join Rotary. We have no barriers. We do want to have people within the club who are in good standing. You're not, yeah. You're not into any kind of illegal business or activities. No, we don't do that. So Rotary is just an avenue for you to give in a structured way.
Amazing.
And that's actually why I joined Rotary, because I saw a post somewhere, and this club had been going to visit a place that I had been trying to support, which is Usikimye. So Usikimye had gone, we did this, we did that. I know they had a shelter in Kiambu, they had a feeding program in Mukuru, and I was really trying to whatever. But I kept feeling like I wasn't making an impact.
Because then we are doing it alone.
Yes, I was doing it by myself. So when I saw Rotary Club of Lavington Gioni has posted that they had gone to Usikimye, it was like the writing's on the wall. That's why I joined Rotary. Because I felt like I'm also at the stage in my life where I want to be part of more, Also, as artists, I must say we are really sometimes in our heads a lot. And we are on TV and our Instagram pages are blowing up and everything's good in the world. But it's not. Not everything is good in the world. Yeah, there are people who have trials that you cannot even think, you can't even imagine. The other day we went to Mukuru Sinai, where we have a project that we run with another Rotary Club in the US, and we've given it's a mother and child unit in Kana Hospital, which is in Mukuru Sinai, and this area was part of the area that was really affected by floods right? And their homes were demolished. And I remember one of the girls who we met lost everything, and she was standing. So the mother of a child, standing with her child, in, waist height water, and she spent the night holding her child up. So you hear stories like that. I mean, you can't even possibly imagine what that must be like.
Yeah.
You can't even say that must have been hard because you don't know.
Because sometimes I complain, but especially during the rains.
Yeah.
And this is something I've changed. You complain about Wi-Fi. Why is the Wi-Fi so low today, so slow? Or maybe power inapotea kidogo and you are so
that one of power.
And then
Yeah.
someday you wake up at 5 and you board maybe a Mart or a bike or an Uber, and then coming to town, you see it's raining and someone is sleeping under
the bridge.
The bridge.
Yeah.
And there's a highway, new super highway hapa chini. Looks like there's a shelter, yes, but it's raining and you see
And
someone
it's
there and it's cold. Someone is
Yeah.
just covering himself now, a paper or something. And even some women are there with
their kids.
Their kids and babies, and they're like, look, you shouldn't even complain.
Yeah.
So what you guys are doing, it's an amazing job. Yeah, as you say, some people look at Rotary in a different way, but what you're doing, it's really, really, really amazing. You were talking about school and being an artist also, you invest in yourself in terms of gaining more knowledge in what you do. There's always this discussion between the industry student and the filmmaker student and those who train. When you come in, others started off and it's working for them. Others went to school and it's also working for them. Did you in some way go to school for what you do as an actor?
No.
But
The most I did was learn from James Falkland.
Amazing.
Now, in those days, acting was not a thing. I mean, it was all fun and games, but hello, tomorrow you go to the office. So no. It's only recently where I started trying to do something. I remember a friend of mine a few years ago, he was a banker, and he just went to UCLA. He just said, I've gone to UCLA to do a film directing course.
Oh, wow.
So I borrowed that from him. And I decided, let me try and start doing small course here, small course there, small course here. And if you look at it, it doesn't really cost much for what it's giving you. I know I've done maybe, so I do two things. I do acting classes and then I do business classes.
Wow.
Those are the two that I do, like religiously. I go, I find, some of them are free, some of them are not.
It has a fee on it.
Yeah, so I usually try and find myself. So I plan myself in that way. But I always in at least every 6 months, I'll do 3 courses.
What's the importance of this? Because someone who's looking at you, what you've been able to accomplish, to achieve, you might not know, but you've made a name for yourself in this industry. There are a particular set of producers, if they think of someone they want to put on a script, you're among those names that will pop up. But yet again,
Thank you.
But yet again, you still attend a class for acting. You still go for these classes, whether it's a 1-week workshop on acting, whether you still go for these things. And maybe someone who's just coming in is like, no, for me, I'm here, I've arrived, I shouldn't go for this. What would you tell them? What's the importance of these classes, whether they're 2 days, 3 days, 4 days? What's the importance of it?
If we just look at our industry alone, this thing is changing faster than we can probably keep up with. Okay. With AI coming in, I don't think anybody can afford to be asleep. That's number one. Number two, someone said to me one time, many years ago, they said, it's important to do things in your life that keep you humble. Okay. If you attend a class by someone like, I'm trying to think of the one class. I did one with Samuel L. Jackson, and I did one with Helen Mirren.
Hold up.
And not one-on-one, it's a class.
But the one Samuel Jackson?
The one.
Wow.
So it's a class, and it's a virtual class.
Wow.
And this guy is so easy. And that's what I was telling you, sometimes as actors and musicians, we really get in our heads. We really do. And I'm not saying that about anyone. I know it happened to me, especially like when we were doing Selina, I thought I was, please, you know, it gets into our heads. But we also, and that's what I was telling you about, looking yourself in the mirror and actually calling yourself out. Evaluate yourself consistently and constantly. Because if you look at it, the sky is a facade. There's no blue blanket up there. Right?
Yeah.
What you're seeing is outer space. It's just that it's been covered by a whole there's no cover. Okay, there are clouds, there's maybe some gases, but it's a facade, right? And that's what life is.
Yeah.
You can go and go and go and go. There's no limit.
There's no limit.
So we get a lot in our heads. It's important to do things that keep us humble. Go to a class, realize that you don't know everything. Realize, in fact, there's a class I did where I just laughed at myself. I put it off because I couldn't bear what the person on the other side was saying. And when I came back to it, I was ready for his message. You know, so I looked at Samuel L. Jackson. He's so chill, and he tells you about how he goes to set, and he's just there, and he talks to people. Then when it's like he has a switch, he'll come and say, "Hey, Lodeki, what's up? How's it going? Da, da, da. Hey, all right, 5 minutes." He's moved on from this story. After you say cut, it's a wrap, it's a scene. How are your kids?
Yeah.
What's going on? Like that. So it's about, first of all, it's about realizing that you are not who you're playing. That's the first thing. Secondly, so that's about the separation. Secondly, it's about knowing that as an actor, there's no day or there's no way you will ever know it all. Because there are feelings that someone will write about that you cannot even, you know, envision. You can't, it doesn't even come to you in any way. That guy sleeping under the bridge. Now you've told me, I drive a Land Cruiser Prado. I don't know. I'm just saying something. And you've told me now you go and act there as that guy who's lying under the bridge. It's a journey, right? And that journey means that you break down some walls that you've built yourself. How do I think you can break down those walls and keep them down is by constantly putting yourself in a situation where, oh, I didn't know that. Learning keeps you humble.
Wow.
Because it means that you have accepted to yourself that you don't know everything.
Wow.
The minute we start saying, oh no, I got this. I don't know. For me, it's never worked. I thought it at one time, and if I can use myself as a case study, I would say, don't try. I would encourage, learn, do an accounting course, go look what's happening in the AI world, go
learn something.
Do an acting course, do a business course, do something, you know, do basic, learn how to read. One thing I've learned with our industry is a lot of youngsters don't know how to read a contract. A simple, contracts are not simple, but that should be simple because you have, you know, umeweka majira. Because that is the thing. You're either you could be selling your soul to the devil. You know, you could be tying yourself forever in something, and someone tells you, by the way, you signed, you can't act another show.
Another show.
For example, I'm not saying that's what happens, but read your contract, understand. And if you don't understand, get somebody to explain to you. What we do, most of us actors, is we open, we look, we say, oh, 55,000. That's the only place we look.
Show me the signing first.
Show me the money. I just want to see the money.
And
let me sign. And
without knowing.
Yeah, without knowing.
And this is something that many young people make mistake, are the ones who are joining the industry. In general, what would you advise them, apart from contracts and everything, those who are joining the industry, those who wants to be like you, those who wants to reach these heights that you've reached, those who wants to be somewhere in this industry, what would you advise them, apart from contracts and everything?
Well, number one, Rome wasn't built in a day. You will start maybe somewhere in the middle, or even at the bottom, or even at the top. But this thing is not cast in stone. Our industry is still relatively small. I would say, don't get in your head. You know, always remember there's always going to be someone who's better than you at acting, who's more beautiful or more handsome than you, who will make more money than you, who's cleverer than you, who's taller than you, shorter than you, fatter than you, thinner than you. There's always someone who will fit. There's always someone. You are not it. Okay? I would say go for auditions, humble yourself. Just ask. Where are auditions? Do auditions. Because also auditions make you better. Imagine. I never thought I'd say that, by the way.
Wow.
Auditions make you better. Go into an audition and leave the audition there. Don't go with it in your head, why did I do that? What is that? No. Make the audition work for you. So use it as, one of the things in your growth trajectory. Auditions. Because auditions make you better. There's one of the things that also keep you humble. Because you go there, you find
better and they keep you humble.
You go there, you find another guy who was lifting chuma, and you've got kitambi. Or me, I go there, I find another babe, she looks like a Coca-Cola bottle, and I'm just wondering about my life. But that's what I mean.
You get humbled.
You get very fast. Very fast.
Yeah.
So audition, always learn. Learn. For me, one thing that really helped is because I also knew what life was like behind the camera. Yeah. So I could tell something is wrong. I could tell, okay, the camera is you've not bubbled the camera. There are small things that I can actually tell. So learn. For me, the biggest thing that I would say to somebody is learn. Always find those classes. Always go to those classes. If you can go, there's some acting competitions that happen around the world. If you are able to, go for them. Because I'll tell you one thing. There's nothing like validation for an artist. There is nothing like validation. Which is not to say that now I'm validated, I'm number one. I've reached. No. There is no limit.
Yeah.
You just keep moving. And also, artists grow this way as well as that way. If that makes sense. So when you're growing this way, you're growing internally. So you're reading, you're talking to people, you're doing classes. So the next time, and this is the part of adding, creating value, the next time Lodeki sees me and he auditions me, he'll say, oh, there's something different about this person. Maybe even I delivered the lines exactly the same way, but you have seen a difference. And that really shows when an actor, or even a musician, by the way, or a painter, or a sketcher, or a sculptor, when you've done the work inside, it shows on the outside. Wow. You wouldn't need to even say on your CV.
Wow.
So I would advise you, never stop learning. That is my biggest challenge to all of us, old, young, somewhere in the middle. That's what I would say.
Wow. Most actors transition to directing, producing. What is the future for you? Are you planning into going into directing or producing?
I've already done production. I've already done production. I
Now this is about quitting acting and fully focusing. I'm a producer and
I'll
that's
quit
it.
acting when I'm dead.
Wow.
I have no desire. I've been a short format producer, so I've done that. Do I want to go back? Not necessarily. I could.
But acting must be part of it.
My acting is my soul. It is in
Wow.
my soul. When God made me, He put acting, then He put everything else around the acting. So I don't think you can
Separate.
I can produce. Maybe one day I can direct, but in my soul, I am an actor.
Wow. Wow. As we wrap up, Helen, most of us creatives battle with mental health. I don't know if you've been in such a position that you got yourself maybe through acting, got mental beatdown. And as a creative, how should we deal with mental wellness in our industry?
So I say actors, musicians, artists of any kind, the reason we struggle a lot with mental issues. In fact, when I was in advertising, many of the creatives, graphic designers, creative directors, a lot of them also struggled with mental health issues. It's not something about actors, for example. So in my personal opinion, a creative mind is a mind that feels things infinitely more than one that's not creative. So let's start with that knowledge, right? So because you feel things more and you see things from a different perspective, then the people around you need to also know how to deal with you first and foremost. But before that, you need to know how to deal with yourself. So it's also a journey of self-awareness. A lot of the time you see people masking their mental health issues with alcohol or drugs. And I'm not saying that the people who don't do drugs and alcohol don't have mental health issues. They probably have a different coping mechanism. Now, for us, most of the time, it's working hours. It's the fact that you've just refused to, or maybe not refused, but it's difficult to filter and digest everything that's going on. Like I said, a creative mind sees and feels things infinitely more than somebody else, which is not to negate other people's feelings.
Yeah.
But I'm talking from a creative perspective because I am a creative. So sometimes you can spiral out of control. And because it's bad, it's very, 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 very bad. And you can feel that aloneness. And also, another reason why it affects us a lot, including musicians, is because already we've put that persona out there. You, as our audience, imagine that our lives are perfect. You imagine, if you see me on the street, I'm like walking on glitter. I'm not. Like, I have the same issues as you.
You're paying tax.
Yeah, I'm paying tax painfully. I have a child. I have rent. I have, a nosy neighbor. I have, we all have
the same struggles.
The same struggles. It's just maybe that my life is a bit more available to you. But if you looked at my life like in depth, not that glossy picture I put on Instagram, no. But if you looked at my life versus the next person's life, we have the same issues. Maybe mine are even worse because of the fact that I'm expected by society to be a certain way. So that's actually one of the things that kills us, the expectation of society. Not knowing that we have put those expectations on ourselves. Yeah.
How should we deal with this? Because people always expect things from you, especially the creatives. How do you put a wall between what you do or who you are and what the society is expecting from you? How do you block that wall, those expectations? How do you block them?
So I have learned how to compartmentalize. The minute I walk into a public event, for example, as Helen the actor, Helen is nicely wrapped in cotton wool, sipping on cocoa in a nice, comfortable place.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice and warm and cozy, and I'm on the couch with my duvet, and life is good. The Helen that goes out there,
Yeah.
I wouldn't say is ready for anything, but is more, is a bit tougher, maybe. There's a bit of a shell around her. There is no, speaking myself in the third person, that's weird. It's a bit weird. Yeah, but you have to create, in the absence of a script, you have created a personality. So you go there and you'll be like, oh yes, oh no, there are pictures and this and that. Not because the people are bad.
Yeah.
No, it's because, again, creatives, we absorb. That's why I'm saying we feel things infinitely more than other people. So you come, maybe your energy is left, this one the energy is right, the other one the energy is north, you know. So you have to kind of guard yourself. Otherwise you find yourself in
energies.
all kinds of predicaments.
Wow.
So it's important for us to just create that person who allows ourselves, our inner, deeper selves, to be wrapped up in cotton wool, sipping on a cup of cocoa under the duvet, watching a nice comedy, like you said.
Wow, Helen,
Yeah.
thank you so much for gracing this show and creating time to have a conversation with me today. I really, really, really appreciate it. I know you probably have other things you could have gone to, done, but you decided, you know what, I'll spend an hour or two on this show and just share my life, my experiences, and how life it is. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It's been so much fun. It's nice to meet all of you guys. And yeah, we look forward to going onwards and upwards.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Helen Keli. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel and also to follow us across all social media platforms. And also, Helen Keli, she's on Instagram, right?
I am.
On X?
Yes, I am on X. I'm on pretty much all the channels. I'm not very active. I'm active on Instagram and maybe Facebook.
Yeah.
Just because Instagram posts on Facebook for me.
So you need to do one posting.
I just do one and I'm good.
Wow. Yeah, guys, follow her, see what she's up to, her next projects. Just follow her and, you know, see what she's up to. And also, do you offer mentorship? Can the aspiring actors reach out to you for mentorship?
Absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely.
They DM you, they'll get you.
They DM me. Let's be kind. Let's. I've gotten some DMs from people who maybe.
They didn't want mentorship.
Maybe first of all, you need to remember I am not Mama Samson in real life.
On single Kiasi.
I am another person. But yes, mentorship is always available.
They want to do pipe repairs.
They are becoming plumbers.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. Have a great time.